Look, I've never told anyone this in full detail before because people usually start looking at me like I'm losing it. But you asked why I can only sleep with the lights on now and why I can't stand cramped elevators. So, here it is. The scariest part isn't realizing you've died. The scariest part is realizing you're alive, but everyone else is certain you're gone. I heard everything, you know? I heard my mom sobbing uncontrollably, heard that damn doctor mumbling something about heart failure and sudden arrhythmia. I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab the nurse's hand when she was pulling the sheet over me. But my body was like poured concrete. Lethargy is when your brain is wide awake inside a dead spacesuit. And then there was the casket. I remember that sound zip zip as they tightened the screws. Darkness hit me instantly. At first, I didn't even realize I was already buried. I thought they'd just left me in the morgue. But then came this silence. A vacuum-like silence. No footsteps, no hum of traffic. And I felt the pressure on my chest. Not the physical weight of the earth yet, but the sheer realization that there were 6 feet of packed dirt above me. I don't know how many hours I just spent crying in the dark. You can't even move properly. Your elbows hit the sides immediately. The air turned heavy, thick as syrup. Every breath burned my lungs because the oxygen was running out. At some point, panic just flipped a switch in my brain and I went feral. I slammed my head against the lid, bit my lips until they bled, and screamed until my voice gave out. But what's the point? Above me, nothing but silence. I got lucky that the casket was cheap. My dad was broke back then and bought a pine one, the most basic model. Near my knees, the wood gave way first. When I felt the timber crack and cold, wet dirt started pouring onto my legs, I almost lost my mind from pure terror. I thought I was about to be crushed flat. But instinct is a terrifying thing. I ripped off that stupid dress I was wearing, wrapped it around my face so I wouldn't choke on the dust and started digging. Imagine this, you're lying on your back, 100 pounds of dirt is collapsing on you, and you have to shove it under yourself toward your feet just to move up a few inches. My fingers were raw, my nails were torn off, and I had splinters and wood chips under my skin. The worst moment was somewhere halfway up. I got stuck. My shoulders were pinned by the clay, and I couldn't move up or down. There was absolutely no air, and I could taste the silt in my mouth. I just closed my eyes and decided, that's it. Enough. Let this be the end. And right then I felt a worm crawl across my hand. Cold, slimy. And it made me so incredibly angry. I thought, no way. I'm not letting them eat me like this. I lunged upward with everything I had left. I literally dislocated my shoulder, but I broke through the top layer of sod. When I felt grass and night air on my fingers instead of cold clay. God, I was sobbing and laughing at the same time, spitting out dirt. I crawled out onto the surface at 2 in the morning. The whole journey took about 6 hours, I guess. The cemetery was completely empty. I sat on someone's headstone covered in white rags, black with mud and dried blood, looking at the moon. I walked home. When I rang the bell and my mom opened the door, she didn't scream. She just slowly slid down to the floor. And I stood there not knowing what to say. All I managed was, "Mom, the pillow in that casket was really uncomfortable. You know what's the weirdest part? I still wake up sometimes at night and start feeling the walls around me, just checking if there's space. And only if I find a sliver of light can I finally start to breathe. Do you want to see the scars on my knuckles? They never really healed right.